Good evening and welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we've got the full ensemble here for, in theory, what's supposed to be the finale of Volume 5. So, for those of you who may not remember who this crazy cast of characters are, we've got physically distanced Crimson Avix, physically impaired Norestra, physically lacking Chameleon Ice, physically incapable Dark Falls, and physically there OPT Lawyer. And I am your host and GM TGE. This is Bay City Chronicles, Volume 5, Sanctuary City, issue 20-something. I think it's 21, maybe 21. It's 22.
It's 21.
Either way, it's the finale. It is entitled Closure. Whether we get any is another story altogether, but that's where we're at. Last time, we got a lot of information on what Project Pharaoh was supposed to be, what it turned into, why Malkir was trained the way he was trained, the location, more than likely, of where Dr. Crescent ended up, a certain other doctor/scientist also missing, potentially, we're not entirely sure, and a teaser of some sort of catastrophic event. Does that sound about right?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds
I don't remember the last part.
Like Crim's little teaser there with the radio?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So where we ended up was everyone was back at Stormbreaker Tower. As you can see, that should be the scene you all see in front of you. Because maps are what I do. I don't do maps. I hate maps so much.
Likewise.
So we did that. We got all that information, and now I believe it was we got the little radio call teaser at the end of last issue, and now we're here. I believe people were getting ready to basically make their final assault back down to the bayou and head to the Vernon compound. But we will go ahead and at least, the four of you, I think the three of you minus Lutra, because Lutra was on the roof. So Anton, Kestrel, and Malkir all heard the weird staticky radio signal. So we'll start there. Y'all just heard that. What do you do?
Anyone feel like gator hunting?
Let's go. Where's the otter?
He went upstairs. I think he needed some air.
Go get him, Kestrel.
What?
Hold
Sure.
on. So Malco just taps his communicator on his wrist and mentions up to Lucha to come on down so we can talk about our neck.
He doesn't respond.
I've got it. Kestrel zips up to the roof to where he thinks Lucha's waiting up by the teleport.
Alright, he's standing on the roof, looking over the side of the building, just kind of staring off into space.
Kestrel drips up behind Lutra there and kind of looks up. Lutra?
Huh?
You okay?
No.
Kestrel kind of floats down and kind of plops down on the ground. What's up?
Well, I just found out that I may not exactly remember everything of my childhood, and I might actually be some kind of assassin.
Okay.
I might be trained as one. I don't even know.
Alrighty, so what's the problem?
Problem is, I know I keep blacking out every so often, and then I kind of come out of it, and everyone looks at me like they're scared.
Yeah, you do sometimes get into those more ragey moments, but never without good reason.
But how do I know that? What if I don't even trust myself anymore?
Well,
Gosh, Dr. Casey was right. Maybe I don't want to know about this. It's too late now.
we trust you, Lutra.
Thanks. What's going on anyway?
Oh, there's this crazy message downstairs came from the TV. We probably got to get ready to go here. The guys are all actually getting ready to suit up to go down to Louisiana. It's kind of go time, I think.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna coming with, right?
Yeah, Lucha turns and starts just kind of walking in. Then he stops and goes, "Wait, Louise who?"
Louisiana. We're going to the Vernon mansion.
He just, as you say that part, his face just kind of gets a lot more serious, and then he just turns and walks down to the loft, says nothing from this point forward.
Kestrel's kind of floating next to see. It's not too bad that you're angry at this guy. This is a good time for this.
He just looks.
All right, guys, Lutra's ready to go.
So at that, Malkier kind of just like looks up at Lucha and motions him to come over to him.
He walks over.
So Malkier then just puts his hand on Lucha's shoulder and just kind of like gives him a squeeze and just whispers in his ear, "Just remember who you are," and then starts walking towards the.
As you say, as Malkier says that, and as you start to walk off, Lucha just kind of says, "Do I know who I am?"
Malkier looks over and goes, "Do you?"
I don't know anymore.
I think you know perfectly well who you are, Lucha. You're one of us. Just remember that.
He nods softly and just kind of watches you walk off and takes a breath and tries to shake his head clear.
Don't worry, Lutra. We won't let you do anything crazy.
Over his shoulder, Malkier just looks at Lucha and goes, "Just bring the crossbow. If nothing else, you can still just shoot Anton in the butt."
Hey, I haven't done that in a long time. Okay, well, yes.
Speaking of Anton, so y'all see the jets already revving, and Anton steps out, and the armor is as fierce as you've ever seen. It's got horns on the top now. It is like full scale, like ready to go destroy everything.
Oh my gosh, Anton! You gotta tell me, what's the name of this suit?
It's the Anton.
No, not like that. Like we have the Anton, we have the Mark 1, and now you had Mark 2, and you had like Anton like rock mode, the Rockbuster. Like, what do you call this one?
It's Anton.
Classy. Needs a little work, but it works.
Get in the jet.
Gotcha.
It's time.
Yeah, Malkier just kind of looks over at Kestrel and asks if he wants to be stuffed in the trunk again of the car.
No, what? Can't. I'm a little bit nervous. Kestrel flies into the jet.
You just, as you walk into the jet, you just hear over the intercom, it's Dr. Casey just with a, "End this." End all of it.
Aye, aye.
So Anton's already set up the autopilot and everything and targeted the coordinates that we're going for the drop zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's go.
Are we hitting the turn the page fast forward button, or there are things people want to do on the plane ride over?
During most of the flight, Lucha just looks like he's trying to meditate. Like he's sitting on the floor someplace, like his legs crossed kind of thing, just eyes closed, just trying to relax. Yeah, basically.
Oh. All the villagers were like, fish.
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 Anton kind of looks at Malkir. Is he really going to be this useless? He's saying fish. Like, we're going to war.
Hey, Lucha.
Huh.
We get through this, I'll buy a giant bag of Swedish fish. Keep your head in the game.
I'm here. I'm just relaxing.
Actually, that reminds me, Anton, maybe I'll hear you too. We're kind of going into this without knowing a whole lot of what we're going into, like, literally. Do you guys know anything about this, this area?
Malkir thinks for a second, he looks over at Castro and goes, do we ever know what we're getting into?
Well,
He's got a point.
that's fair.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. There's no other way around it. Be ready for anything.
Well, at least
He's
we
not
don't have
gonna
any
stop.
alternate dimension people to worry about this time.
I wish you wouldn't say that.
Hey, Anton,
Yes, Malkir.
try not to be a football this time.
I don't think there are any goalposts nearby. It's a swamp.
Swamps have trees. They kind of look like goalposts. But we do have some gator bait, and Malkir kind of just looks over at Castro.
I don't even go in the water.
I do. Water's great.
You don't want to go in the water, Lutra.
Why not?
It's full of gators.
Well, I really kind of like Gatorade, so that can't be that bad, right?
You know, I saw that coming, and I'm still not ready to respond. Casual just kind of sits down.
So even though Malkir's been like cracking jokes, they could clearly tell he's not nervous, but anxious.
Yeah.
So we get the big sort of like full panel spread, basically like Final Fantasy VII, like the flying, the descent, the jump into Midgar scene or of the airship. We're getting ready to do that. That's the sort of overhead panel we get. But instead of being the overhead panel for like big city of Midgar, we get something a lot less colorful. Not pictured here in this picture because it's kind of hard to drop directly onto this because of all the trees. You kind of have to drop at the front of the compound with a big gate with a very nice stylized V on it, obviously for Vernon. This compound, and that's the only way I can describe it as a compound, is huge. Long, winding driveway, dirt driveway in the swamp that will lead eventually to the manor proper. But it's almost like the path was almost like it was forced to be a path because it looks like they cut this path through an actual swamp, and it looks like it's been moated to two sides. Like it looks like it just cuts through the middle of like what used to be a full swamp.
Oof.
So who wants to knock on the front door?
Not it.
Before, as you say, not it, the gates and creak open.
I don't know if I like this as much anymore.
I don't like it, but we have to do it.
Did we have another option?
Malkir kind of just looks over at the swamp and then looks back at Castro and grins and said, "You can always see with the gators."
Kestrel props himself on top of Anton's shoulder. I'm good.
So what do you do?
So with that, I'm going to do a perception check to see if I can see anything.
Okay.
We haven't had rolls in a while. Let's see if
We haven't had rolls in a while.
Let's give us a little roll of 1.
That old dark charm.
Do you remember where your roll sheet is?
Do you remember how to use it?
That's a good point.
The answer's probably no to both of those.
Well, actually, he does with a 25. So, what are you looking around to try and see?
Just any kind of like hazards or anything that would be
So-
glaring.
So you look around, and like I said, the big thing, like you can kind of see like the mansion, the man sort of way off in the background, and like in the fog. You can just sort of kind of tell where it is. But looking around, even though it's a swamp, the only place for anything to really hide would be in the water itself. And you're pretty sure that there's not going to be anything human sitting in the water. What you do notice is you notice like what appear to be minor ripples coming from under the water. The water itself is so swampy and murky, you can't really see down into it, but you can see the water itself rippling. And as you look and look, you notice something very interesting about the rippling. Or you notice how many ripples there are, or spots that ripple. There are 8 of them.
So at that, Malkir kind of just looks over at Anton, Lucha, and Kestrel and says, "Are you ready for some?"
Why?
Because of this. So at that, Malkir reaches down and picks up a large branch and just kind of flings it at the wall.
It lands harmlessly on the water.
I got something better.
Why are we even worrying about the water? I mean, the mansion's the big thing, right?
Malkir looks over at Kestrel and goes, "Do you really want stuff coming up behind us?"
No. What do you got, Anton?
Anton pulls out a box of Kestrel Crunchies and dumps them into the water.
Where'd you get...
You see the 8 ripples all sort of whoosh, and then you see a wave just like push inward, and you see a giant like vacuum of the Kestrel Crunchy just sort of go whoop. And then you see a bubble come up and burst, and we get the onomatopoeia that just says burp.
They're satisfied. Let's go.
I think that's just gators.
Did that actually... You know what? Never mind.
Malkir kind of just glances at it, then starts walking towards Anton. Still kind of leery of the water.
Don't look like you're trying to keep your distance, but keep your distance.
I mean, if you want, we could just try to drain it.
Just let's go.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
I need a walking order.
Walk!
I'll be in the front.
Okay.
So I think
Okay,
it's
we're in the
Anton with the Kestrel on his back. Actually, Lutra's going to be in the middle, I think.
Okay.
Anton's going to shove Lutra kind of in front of him just to, like,
Hey!
stay in between us.
Huh?
So you're all walking and walking.
We're walking.
And I have a very important question. I actually need to make it so that this... Where's the button to do... me. All right, fine. I'll just do it this way. Kestra,
Yes.
does a 23 hit your parry?
My parry specifically? You had 10, right?
Yes.
It does.
Okay. So, You are walking along thinking that you have properly fed the gators. There's just one problem. You didn't feed a gator. Or 8 gators. As a giant purple tentacle comes lashing out of the swamp and grabs itself a kestrel and just wraps around. And yoink!
Ah, what?
Can I have 3 hero points according to my notes. I'm going to use one of them and slash tentacle with my sword because I was waiting for it.
You can certainly do that. You can go ahead to attack the tentacle. There's a reason I specifically said 8 points of ripples. You did tickle the octopus, kids.
Ooh. DC 29.
And you will definitely hit the octopus. And for lack of a better term, you're not going to cut the full tentacle off, but you're definitely going to be able to free kestrel.
Thank you.
And then you're just going to sort of as giant kraken. Okay, not quite so giant kraken, but giant octopus just emerges from the swamp, screaming like the tentacle is flailing. It's like, why'd you have to go and do that?
Instead of responding, Anton at this point is going to use his nano electric whip on the octopus.
Wait, did that just speak?
Don't really care, Lutra.
I kinda do.
I tried to eat kestrel.
Well, no, it just grabbed him.
I think that was the intention eventually, but we'll ask it questions after it stops attacking us.
Wow, apparently I'm rolling like crap.
That's good for us.
You rolled a 27 earlier.
It means we won't part 2 this likely.
Yes, no, that's good. Kestrel, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, make a flight check, please.
Okay, so I just roll my flight speed, right?
Whatever your flight rank is.
Yeah, that's
D20 plus your flight rank.
14.
Okay.
It's probably not going to be good. I rolled a 2.
Okay, this is bad for you.
Can I use a hero point to re-roll it? I got 2.
You can.
Might as well be a good time to do it.
Yes, it would be, because if you don't, that's better. Because you weren't expecting to be cut loose from the tentacle. So you had to react quickly to not fall in the swamp water. What would have happened if you fell in the swamp water while the octopus in the water was getting electrocuted?
Oh, dear.
We'd have had fried kestrel bites.
We would have had crunchy kestrels.
New food line.
So he takes double damage from that.
I don't think that food line would have gone over all that well.
Yeah, you just hear, "Youch!" Why did you have to go and do that?
What exactly are you?
Hungry!
That's why. Because you tried to eat our friend.
But he looks so delicious! Hey, look at him!
You can go for the otter. He's like a snack. The otter's more of a meal.
Thanks.
I mean, he was next. You gotta have the appetizer for the main course.
Yuto looks just disappointed, like, oh. He really was trying to eat us. Gosh.
See?
Yeah, I see.
Alrighty, I have an idea.
At that, Malkia looks at the octopus and goes, "Do you really want to repeat, or do you want to just go off on your own?"
Look, I'm not supposed to let people in. And you really shouldn't look so delicious.
What if we gave you some food? More than the crunchies we already gave you.
What do you have?
Anton kind of goes back to the ship and starts rummaging through the food to see what we've got.
The entire time, the octopus is just like sticking out. And for those of you who played Final Fantasy VI, just picture the head of Ultra sticking out of the river with the teeth, and there's just a tongue the entire time going.
So, Teach, what is in the food pantry today? Actually, I guess I should ask Lutra, what did you pack for us?
He didn't. Not in the airplane.
Okay, Teach, what was stashed for us by the flight crew?
What flight crew?
Whoever cleans the plane when we're done using it.
So, considering you guys have been back and forth, they haven't really had a chance to restock. So, you kind of only have some scraps left, basically. You've got the emergency stores of Swedish fish.
So, at this point, Anton hollers to Lutra, "Hey, Lutra, come cook something up real quick with what we've got."
Okay.
Sir.
Comes back to the plane, looks at everything. It's like, there's barely anything here. Like,
But you've been able to cook with less.
So
let's do this.
So,
right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Butcher's playing Chopped on the plane to feed the octopus.
Exactly, right?
The basket contains the following:
Gosh.
1 jumbo-sized package of Swedish fish. 2 cans of corned beef hash. A whole rack of bananas. And vanilla Greek yogurt.
That actually sounds kind of good.
Roll that culinary check.
Ooh, he crit.
What time for a crit?
Serious cooking.
So describe what you make with this ridiculous amalgamation of food.
So clearly the main protein is going to be the corned beef hash, because that's pretty much what I've got. So there's that. There's some roasted bananas, and the Swedish fish has actually been melted down into like a caramely, like sweet sauce kind of a thing, which you have no idea how he got there, mixed with the Greek yogurt. Which
basically makes bananas faster.
Something like that, except with corned beef hash, whatnot, and it's somehow this has all worked together as he brings it back out for the octopus, and he looks at it.
Castro's like playing with the octopus.
He looks at it like, I honestly didn't even think that this could actually come out well, but I mean, I made some for the rest of you too. You really need to try this. It's actually pretty good.
So, as he comes up with this, you're not sure how this happens, but on the little dirt driveway, behind where you guys are, not to impede you, a giant table gets pulled up from the water that is fully set for one. And the octopus shuffles his way up to the shore, sitting down at the edge of the table on the shoreline with a fork in one tentacle and a knife in the other.
Lucia just stands there watching all of this, and he's just like, okay, I'm trying to think here. Hold on. Yep, this is definitely the weirdest thing I've seen in my entire life.
Yeah, ditto.
So he is just going kind of like, well, I never saw you guys. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, here, I brought the salt and pepper if you wanted some of that too.
Woo! And then another 2 tentacles go and grab each one, and she starts. It is the craziest thing.
Melchior thinks for a minute and reaches into his duster and pulls out a waterproof face bandage and tosses it to the octopus.
We just get the X bandage off. Stop! The tentacles stop! Okay.
Oh, hold on. Here, I got this too. And he tosses it on the table like one of those like after dinner mints.
Okay. Y'all can each take a hero point because that was completely unexpected.
Huh.
I have to ask, like, pulling back to character, were you intending this to be like a major battle?
I was intending for you to fight the octopus, yes. Like, I have a character sheet statted out for it. Like,
We found its true weakness. Food.
Indeed.
Yep.
How'd that work
So
for everybody
that
else when we get inside?
That happened. Okay, so we get the last panel on that comic, just like the octopus sitting there, knife, fork, salt, pepper, napkin in a fifth tentacle, and then a bib tucked in. Mm-hmm.
Richard takes a picture with someone's cell phone. Like, no one's ever going to believe this happened.
Everyone gets
Yeah,
photo ops with the
obviously.
octopus.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
pictures.
Maybe it'll outtrend water skiing.
I don't know that I would post that yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's not. Now. Maybe later.
We can post that after,
Yeah.
if there's an after.
Okay, so as you guys finally make an approach the house or the manse, you hear mild chanting coming from somewhere. You're not entirely sure where, but you can faintly hear it. Now for a quick little mechanical aside, just so you all understand how I'm doing this.
Mhm.
It's going to be a little hard to see, but I'll keep putting notes in the chat here for everybody.
Okay.
This is a clock. Clock is at 3 o'clock right now. When this clock reaches midnight, bad things are going to happen.
Ooh.
Probably having something to do with the chanting you hear. Depending on how long you take and what actions you take, will depend on how fast the clock gets filled. For the record, your time slots are 3, 6, 7:30, 9, 10:30, and midnight.
Huh. Okay, then. I
So
wasn't
this-
expecting chanting.
So that's just for the record for the mechanical side of things. That's how. So if you see me coloring in something, it means a clock is something has happened at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
That's reassuring.
Mm-hmm. So you have made it to the front of the house. What do you do?
Where's that chanting coming from?
I don't really care. Anton just knocks on the door with the hammer.
So you knock in the door. You didn't have to; it was unlocked, but you knock in the door.
I'm announcing our presence.
Yes, you are. And staring back at you is what appear to be snake people? You're not entirely sure?
I mean, I knew this was full of snakes, but this is too literal for me.
Malkir kind of just sighs and looks over at Anton and asks if he wants to attend assassin boot camp for a future mission.
I prefer bowling.
Are we in the right place?
And when Anton finishes saying bowling, he literally activates the propulsion in the system and goes charging straight into the middle of these snake people.
Okay. So are you trying to get them all at once? Are you trying to get one of them, or how you want to try to do it?
Oh, we're bowling. We're going for a strike.
Okay. So, in that case, roll me a...
Fist, you think?
Yeah, go for a fist attack. Also, there's the snake people if you care.
Mm-hmm.
Nice roll. 2.
Yeah, well, they can't all be gems.
No, they cannot all be gems. I do not believe a 14 is going to hit. No, it is not.
That's
You have now rolled yourself into the middle of these snake people.
Hi guys, what's up?
They just look. And all 3 lunge at you to try and bite. So we're going to roll this 3 times.
I like the name of the attack.
What, bite?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's the notes. I know the 12 doesn't hit, but how about the 21?
It's what? It's dodge plus 10?
This is your parry.
17. Or parry, 16.
Okay, so then in that case, the 12 and the 27 will both hit. I'll need 2 DC 25 toughness saves as these things are going to sink their teeth into you. You have hero points. Are you using them?
Oh, yeah.
Which one are you rerolling first?
Does it matter?
Well, the 20, it's going to be a plus 10, so you get a 22, and then a 20.
20.
So you'll get a bruise each time.
Okay.
So you end up with 2 bruises. Kestrel, Lutra, Malkier, you see him charge, miss, and then just get dogpiled by snake people?
Malcolm looks over at the pile and he asks, how flame resistant that new suit?
It's perfectly flame resistant.
Okay, so Malkir's going to just charge up his hand and throw his fire wheel right in the center of the snake pile.
Okay. That is a burst area. Ooh, burst area 2. Okay, so we have to make dodge checks on all these snake people. Dodge. Okay, one of them will have to make the save. We'll get to make the save at -5. The other 2 will have to take the full spread of the save. Apparently, the one that made the save was the one that missed Anton, so it wasn't latched on. Anton, you also get a dodge check. Okay, you also have to make a save here.
Toughness.
Toughness, DC 25.
It's going to be a long night.
Probably is.
Ooh, one of them gets it.
Well, one of them gets it. The other 2, these are minions, so they just... I don't want to scream, but you hear a combination of hissing, screaming, and some really weird rattling as 2 of these just curl up and just are screaming. Anton's probably purring a little too. Lutra.
Should toss these outside and feed the octopus more.
Lutra and Kestrel. That just happened. What do you 2 do?
How many
are
left?
left?
1.
Alright, so Lucha's just gonna run towards that one spirit.
Oh God, he's broken in half.
So, we'll see.
I mean, did you see Goldberg last night?
Ooh, another crit. The honors on
boy.
point now.
They can't make the 32, so I'm not going to bother rolling. As Lutra, apparently, he also has been eating his Kestrel crunchies and goes for a full-on sprint to spear this thing. And either Lutra is really strong or these things are very fragile. And he spears it literally in half. Like, against the Mortal Kombat fatality, he spears it. You look, and he's holding the top half of the snake. And then you look down, and the bottom half is still where he left it. and we have the minus to the voiceover. By God, he's broken in half!
So just takes the top half of the body he's got and throws it down the ground disgustedly, just like, that's what I get for biting my friend. Oh, wow, I actually... Ah!
I'm gonna check the doors. Ketchel's he's gonna zip around the bottom floor here real quick to see if there's any opening.
Only a perception check.
Okay. $23.
23. So, I mean, this is a large manse.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's one of those things where the doors are open because they're not expecting visitors. Or if they are, they're planning for you and they want you here anyway.
Gotcha.
But the doors are all open.
That's convenient. If I go down, like, 2 or 3 of the paths, going at, like, suboptimal speed, like, Like I'm zooming down through all these like paths on the ground floor just to kind of see if there's anything that leads us like if there's any basement stairs. Like that's what I'm kind of looking for.
Odds or evens?
Heroes choose evens. Even.
All right, roll a d20.
Ugh, 7.
Then you do not find any basement stairs in your suboptimal speed check.
Drat. Okay. I fly back up to the guys in the middle, like, guys, there are lots of doors, lots of paths, way too many to just check that fast. But we're looking for the basement, right?
Penthouse.
Anton, make an insight check. This is the swamp. There is no basement.
We're looking for the penthouse. Kestrel.
Oh, I thought it was underneath the mansion. Okay, my bad. So cool. Didn't look for the penthouse. My bad there.
That's fine, Kestrel. The problem with the swamp is if you dig underground to water.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now that I think about it.
So I got a question.
What's up?
Yes, Lutra.
Who is Pent and why are we looking for his house?
We don't have time for this, Lutra.
Oh, because I thought we were looking for this house.
We're trying to find Pent's house. When we find it, that's where the secrets are.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's a lot easier that way.
Sure.
Let's go.
Great.
So, Ketchel's got to try to lead the guys down at least one of the doors that he opened up and saw a path down. He's not sure which one's a good one, but one's as good as any, right?
Yep. So you pick a random door. And alrighty. Your random door leads you to the kitchen.
Well, this would have been useful about like 10 minutes ago.
I mean, yeah, would have helped.
And this is a fully stocked Louisiana kitchen.
So Lucha walks in, he's just like, oh wow.
Well, it's nice, but nothing we need is in here.
Do you think like after we're done we can come back here and just claim this place?
If we don't destroy the place, sure.
Right. Can we try not to? I feel like we destroy everything that we, like, kind of get into.
I'm okay with destroying this place, Lutra.
Oh, okay.
Honestly.
It's not a good place.
Well, no, there were snake guys in here, which, by the way, can I just point out the fact that there were snake people here? Why didn't no one ever tell me snake people existed?
Did you not meet the talking octopus out front and expect weird things to be here?
Well,
Just, there's going to be weird things here, Lutra.
I'm doing
clearly,
the suspension of disbelief thing right now.
This guy was experimenting on animals. He was experimenting on you.
yeah, I guess I didn't realize he's experimenting on so many other things.
That's why I said, Casey's got food for us if we need it. Let's
Yeah,
destroy
yeah.
this place.
Is there a door leading out of the kitchen that leads, like, not the way that we came?
Yes, there is. Also, as you guys are sitting there talking, the chanting gets louder.
We can't sit around here.
From a mechanical perspective, that means it is now 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Let's get moving.
Let's open this door and see where it leads us. Because if the penthouse is where penthouses aren't usually, like, in the house. They're usually, like, outside and around. So let's open this door and see where it leads us, guys.
Well, like any good kitchen, especially in a big man's, it leads outside.
Good. And when we go outside, Do we see a penthouse?
I wouldn't call it a penthouse, but I could say, go ahead and give me a perception check.
All of us, or just one, or
Who's going outside?
I'm following along, so yeah.
I'll roll a perception. Sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wouldn't call it a penthouse. I'd call it something off in the distance, though.
Nice, Lutra.
Okay, is that 3 straight crits?
Yeah. Well, the other one was an 18 crit, but yes.
It's still 3 straight crits.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, Lutra's absolutely critting tonight.
Yeah, making up for my back-to-back-to-back snake eyes last night.
That was insane.
So what
Yeah,
do we see?
You see the picture in front of you. Well, darker and gloomier, but there's definitely something way far yonder in the back of the compound.
Hey,
Well?
is that what we're looking for?
It might be. It's a house that's not attached to the building. It's kind of nice-ish, I guess. We should at least check it out.
Anton, you know a little bit about Louisiana culture type of deal and how the architecture tends to work. That seems like an old cathedral.
That was the thing I was feeling.
Oh.
Is that where we're supposed to go?
Oh, no. That's a cathedral, then, not a penthouse.
Well, where do you hide your important things?
In
You
a
hide
safe?
them in the cathedral. Well, let's go.
Okay.
I do have to say, cathedral would be my first choice, but okay, yeah, let's check.
And worst that happens is we waste time.
Which is bad right now. I'm feeling kind of like on edge.
Anton can make an insight check. I don't assume anybody has knowledge religion or knowledge voodoo.
Oh no, Lucha definitely is not.
Not I,
No.
said the squirrel.
Okay, so the reason Anton gets the insight checks is because he was living in New Orleans.
Oh,
Or the area.
Melkier's very religious, as you guys all know.
Yes, extremely. Yeah, he belongs to the cult of personality.
So that's even better.
It was Assassin's Creed.
Yep. So you're beginning to piece this together. Between the octopus is an anomaly, but you remember that the guards back at your house mentioned something about a rattling noise. Then there was the snake people. You hear chanting, and now you see an old-style cathedral.
Yeah, we're breaking that down.
What is sort of the most famous religion in New Orleans?
It's voodoo, right?
Voodoo. All of these line up with some sort of voodoo ritual.
Okay, yeah, we gotta go in there, and we gotta stop whatever's going on in there now.
Right behind you. Also, I swear to goodness, if they have like a voodoo doll that's actually like a Kestrel plushie or a Lutra plushie, I am going to maim somebody.
I mean, you're probably gonna maim somebody. But
Yeah.
What's voodoo?
Hopefully you
we'll
don't find
explain
out.
it in a minute.
Okay.
We don't have time right now. We'll have a plane ride home.
Just know it's really bad stuff and don't trust anybody.
No,
Melkier
except
starts
for
humming the Witch Doctor song.
Huh?
All right, Al.
Ooh, ah, ah, ting, ting, walla, walla, bing, bang. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ting,
Yeah,
ting, walla,
that
walla,
one.
bing, bang.
Not now, Alvin.
Hey! Oh wait, squirrel. Never mind. I'm fine.
Oh, nuts. So you guys make your way to this cathedral, and
Doors unlocked.
well, you get there, and you can definitely tell the chanting is coming from because it's getting louder, and not in the sense of it's getting louder. It's getting louder in the sense of you're getting closer.
Huh.
So, I'm going to let you describe how you arrive, and then I'll describe what you see when you arrive.
Well, Anton, you're leading the charge.
I mean, when we walk up the front door.
So, you walk into the front door, and it's definitely set up like the main service room of a church set up for a cathedral. But there's no chairs, no pews, no benches. There has been sort of an altar of something set up on the pulpit. And what you see is there are multiple hooded druids just chanting the chanting we heard earlier. Then, up on the pulpit, you see the following. You see, standing at the front of the pulpit, looking out over, sort of mining the druids, you see a bigger, angrier-looking snake person.
Ooh.
Then, there are 3 people on the pulpit in front, like behind the altar table, one of which is leading a chant. It's sort of like, I'm not necessarily leading a chant, but sort of like you can see her sort of infusing, like saying the sort of ritual chant type of thing. That would be this person. That's on the left side.
So not a snake.
On the right side, there is a man with a full-on like top hat, painted skull, holding up a couple of shrunken heads. Like, he is definitely the one sort of like fully investing magic into whatever this ritual is. That is this individual right here.
Ooh, charming.
And in the middle is a man who needs no picture. In the middle, in this weird sort of authentic voodoo attire, is the president-elect, Andrew Vernon. In his hand is a curved ritual knife. And he is holding it above his head. And it's half glowing, like the blade is half glowing with whatever this chant is. And laying supine on the table. Hand, foot, basically in a crucifix, is Dr. Crescent.
All right. Castro's actually moving immediately to do this as he sees all this going down, because he knows what to do, and he wants to help her out. He's dashing it there at his, breaking sound speed, and he's doing a localized sonic boom in the center of all these chanters, so he can deafen them and they can't hear themselves.
Okay, and the chanters, okay.
Well, yeah, the chanters first doing the rituals. Yeah.
That's fine, because if you're heading into the middle of the chanters, you can do that.
Yeah, because it's 30 feet radius, but yeah.
Yep, you can absolutely do that. Also, I love the look at everyone's face. Y'all weren't expecting this.
Alrighty, localized sonic boom. DC
Okay.
that 22.
Well, these literally are they're mooks. They're know-nothing, faceless, nameless. I mean, this is basically your putty patrol, your voodoo putty patrol, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in addition to death, they just get all blown against the wall, which abruptly stops the chanting. And the snake guy, I'm gonna tell you what their names are so I can start referring to them as this. You have the snake guy, who is Cottonmouth. You have the woman, who is Mama Jubilee. You have the man, whose real name is Simon Dulac, but currently he is possessed by the vessel that is Baron Samdi. And, of course, we have President Vernon. So, Cottonmouth sort of spins and looks and goes, "You're late."
We're right on time. Let's go, guys.
At this point, Mama Jubilee turns. No, my dears, you are in fact late, but we did prepare a special welcoming committee for you. She slams her cane on the ground, and you're not sure how this works because you're in a cathedral, but all of these zombies just start appearing from the ground, just crawling and standing up and shambling towards you.
I wasn't ready for that.
This now seems like a very good time to roll initiative.
That's still a thing?
It is still a thing.
It's been a while, but yeah.
I'm only having initiative be rolled here because there's so many moving parts.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Like, initiative? Oh, right, I remember what that is. It's been so long since I've played in a structured kind of tabletop game.
I know, right?
And I wasted my crit of the night.
You're one crit of the night. Come on, load.
I don't see anything.
Well, no, all the initiative rolls only come to me.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking the character sheets to load so I can roll them. Of course, I crit on her. She has a freaking 1. Alright, so we got Mal. Try. We got Mama. We got Cottonmouth. We got the Baron. We got Anton. We got Kestrel. And we got Vernon. The zombies will move on Mama Jubilee's turn because she is the one who summoned them. Currently, there are about 20 of the zombies. Valkyr, you were first on the list.
Is the turn order popped up? Because I don't see it.
I don't have the turn order popped up. I'll pop it here into chat for everybody.
Okay.
Valkyr is up first.
So Malkyr is going to use my fire shaping to create like a ring of fire around our group, and just kind of like explode it outwards.
Okay. So, I mean, the zombies, like I said, they're mooks, they're minions, they're made to delay you.
That's what I'm doing first.
Yeah. So, so Baron Samdi is still chanting. You can still see the dagger getting more and more colorful with the magic. You blow these zombies apart, like easy peasy. Like you like a stiff gust of wind probably would have done this. Like they burn into dust. Not that hard to do. So at least for right now, the impediment of the zombies is out of your way. Lutra.
Oh, Lutra's going to charge directly towards Vernon.
I figured that might happen. Is Lutra paying attention to his surroundings when he does it, or is he just doing it?
No, I think he's just charging forward.
Okay. So, you're going to charge forward. You jump. And this didn't need to be something that was seen until right now because it didn't have any effect. They didn't need to. But they were expecting you. And one chant was doing one thing, another chant was doing another thing. The second chant, I'm not telling you which chant was doing what, was the force bubble around the altar and the 3 people there. So you run smack dab into a force bubble. Not going to do any harm, you just can't break through. Until you've stopped the person who has crafted that ritual, that bubble is going to remain up. Specifically, it's a bubble around the altar and Vernon.
Right. Is there people outside this bubble? Like, who's outside?
Yes, Baron Samdi, Mama Jubilee, and Cottonmouth are outside the bubble.
Okay. So Lucha just kind of he hits this bubble and he kind of obviously clearly, well, not clearly, he figures something's up with this and he's just staring at Vernon. And then he's gonna turn towards.
Oh, also real quick, I believe I'm triggering 3 people's complications here. So Malkyr, Anton, and Lutra can all take a hero point because they all have to either do with the fact that your wife is on a table getting ready to be sacrificed or Vernon. So I'm triggering some complications as well.
So Lutra looks at him and then he turns towards the snake because he's already killed one, so why not? And just out of pure anger and rage, he claws at this guy.
All right, roll to hit. That will hit.
It's a multi-attack, so by how many?
That will hit. by exactly 1 tier.
Oh, nice.
So
27.
Yep. You claw, you scratch, you do whatever you need to do. Unlike the last snakes, this one has some slightly harder scales.
Apparently.
I also rolled like a freaking champion. That was a 19. So, it is Mama Jubilee's turn. She sees you going after Cottonmouth, and she just looks. You are a naughty boy going after my son like that. You need to be grounded. You need a little time out. And from the tip of the staff she's holding, this dark purplish blackish beam comes flying right at you. She's attacking you. With anyone who knows D&D will know the spell, Enervation.
Ooh, that's a classic.
I don't know what that is.
Yes. But the question is, does a 31 hit you?
Actually, it does.
I would hope. So I need you to make a will save. DC is 22.
Oh.
And I'm going to make a very healthy suggestion. Don't fail this.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
I mean, the description of what it does is in the notes.
Weaken physical abilities.
Mm-hmm. That being strength, agility, stamina, and dexterity.
Jeez, that's all we are.
Trying to see if I got anything to help me out before I roll this out, right?
I mean, aside from the 40 bajillion hero points,
I only have 2.
Yes.
you have 3.
3, sorry. Right.
1 from the start of session, 1 from feeding the octopus, 1 for triggering your verdict.
Right. I'm just trying to see if I've got, like, an ultimate toughness. Okay, never mind.
I'll take one of those hero points. Unless you want to lose 5 points to all your physical stuff.
No, I'll take that.
There we go.
That'll do it. So this purple-black light beam just hits you square in the chest. And for a second, you can definitely feel it trying to, like, sap your strength away, but you've dealt with so much worse than this.
I've had way too many things in my mind.
Pretty much.
Deb, is that you again?
Oh, God, don't even. Don't even!
So, Baron Samdi looks, seeing that between Cottonmouth, oh, sorry, not Baron, this is Cottonmouth's turn. I can't read my own handwriting. So, since you're kind of right there, and he kind of thinks that he basically, this is how they usually work. She zaps, he eats. So he's assuming that affected you the way it normally affects everybody else. So he's just going to spin his head, look, and go, "You made a very big mistake."
Had to get one in, didn't you?
Of course I did. And he's going to bite at you. But a 13 is not going to hit.
That doesn't even hit the base stat.
Yes, but that, unlike the other bites, that one's linked to a paralyzing toxin. Yeah. Because he has poisonous snakes. Right. Now it's Baron Somni's turn.
Right.
And he looks and sees the fact that, the two of them are dealing with, the otter. And it's weird. He looks at Anton for a second and just sort of gives him like the slight tip of the top hat and then turns his attention to Kestrel.
What?
There's a reason, I promise. And just looks and goes, "I wouldn't even need to shrink your head."
I think I'm insulted.
Question.
Probably.
Does a 17 hit your dodge?
Not even close.
Okay, that's probably a good thing. For the record, Insidious. Insidious means it happens, but you don't know it happened.
Ooh. Sneaky.
He's a voodoo priest. What do you want me to do?
Exactly that.
Anton, you just had the creepy skeleton guy tip his top hat to you. And then insult Kestrel and apparently not do anything.
Yeah, it seems to be common here for these guys. Anton is actually going to pop the whip out again. And he is going to target the staff.
Which staff?
That Mama is holding.
Okay.
The staff that Mama's holding.
Okay, let's say Mama staff or the Baron staff. That's why I had to ask.
I'm going to start with Mama's staff. It's been causing more trouble.
All right, let me see. That will hit. So you're attempting to, instead of deal the damage, you want to grab the staff.
I either want to disarm or destroy. Whichever one.
Well, a whip isn't going to destroy. A whip is going to disarm.
Okay, then disarm.
So what I need here in this case is an opposed strength check.
To what?
Make a strength check. I'd like to point out that her strength is a -1.
Yeah, I think this is a hero point moment.
Okay, I'll take the hero point. Yes, it is. So we get a pull, and then Anton's like, "Oh no!" And where are you pulling the staff? To you, somewhere
To
else?
me.
Okay. So with the staff, you now have access to the following ability: Soul Blast. It is a rank 12 damage with accurate 6, making it a +12 roll. It is ranged, incurable will damage. You also have access to the ability Enervation, which is a broad range of weakened physical abilities. Same thing, 12 attack, 12... That's not the only trick she's got up her sleeve, but you did pull that away from her.
No. And Anton's not going to destroy the staff yet, so he's going to hold on to it.
Kestrel, you just got insulted by Skullface. Or you think you did. You're not sure.
Yeah, he did insult me, but he didn't do anything to me. But I actually am curious about something, because something else is more important to me here. You said there's a force bubble around the altar on Vernon, right?
Yes.
Where's Dr. Crescent at?
On the altar, in front of Vernon, looking like he's ready to stab her.
Okay. I wanted to see, since I've had practice doing this on Anton's car,
You have.
can I do the vibration to pass through this force bubble to get in there?
Maybe you could. Who knows?
I'd like to try that, because I want to get in there and save my buddy's wife. Or at least stop the big evil president guy.
Alrighty.
Okay, what would I roll for that?
Since you don't have the phasing power,
That's true, I don't.
you're gonna have the power stunt and make a speed check for me.
Okay, my speed check, I use my flight for that, which is 14.
Yep.
Okay.
Before
just
he does
D20?
that, Malkier sees Kestrel starting to do something that is interesting. So he tucks something into the back of Kestrel.
Okay.
I'm in the church. Okay, sure, go for it. I'm good for it.
Yeah.
Well, you have a
Well,
belt to show, I assume.
Yeah. It sticks to your fur.
I'm good with this. I don't have a satchel. You got me. Okay, so just D20 plus 14. I got a 29.
Okay. So the roll there was to beat the rank of the ritual.
Okay.
You did not hit it.
Okay.
Because yes, I did a roll for this ritual ahead of time with expertise magic, or expertise voodoo, technically. So you hit it. So you run and you hit this. I mean, you're vibrating it at this ridiculous frequency, and you run and you hit this force bubble. And you're like, you're almost like you're not going to get through, and the last bit of surge, because darn it, that's my buddy's wife. I'm going to save her. You push through, and now boop, you're in the bubble with the president. And he turns and looks.
Good job.
And has this ridiculously evil smile on his face.
You're supposed to be surprised.
Why would I be surprised?
Because I am.
When the reason I wanted to know what all of y'all could do was so I could be prepared for it. And he just looks, and he still holds the ritual dagger in one hand. He switched it to his other hand, and then his hand. So, for those of you who basically, everyone besides Dark here, remember how Krim's character in Next Gen produced the energy katal from his hand?
Yes.
Vernon does the same thing. Basically, a lightsaber comes out of the top of his hand.
Oh.
And Chammy, he is attacking you with Beam Sword. But he's gonna miss. Because I rolled a 2.
Thank goodness. Huh.
Yeah, weren't expecting that, were you?
No. Did I have a
Also-
chance to pull anything out of my pack, by the way, when I got in there, or was the vibration like
You're
took all my
gonna-
attention?
Yeah, it took all your attention. Also, just as a note, since Kestrel, you were the one in there, you see the dagger continue to glow. We are now at 7:30. Alright, we are back to the top of the order. Malkir.
So on that, Malkir kind of motions at Kestrel to check his backside.
Looking's a free action. You can check what he tells you to check.
Yeah. Kestrel like looks back there, like pulls it out of his satchel. Like
What did you sneak in there with him?
A fire source.
it's gonna get real crowded in this bubble.
Yeah, it is.
Really is. Okay. So, Chammy, you find the match. Or Kestrel, you
Yeah.
find the match.
He wiggles his eyebrows.
Small price to pay.
Indeed.
Malkir is just kind of like waiting.
Do you strike the match?
Oh, absolutely. So Kestrel pulls that out, and he just kind of like rips it over the side of his satchel and throws the match towards Vernon so you can jump out and slash him. I don't know.
Yep, that's exactly what I was hoping you'd do.
Go for it.
Beautiful.
And I will use my hero point if I have to for that, but
That's just good enough. Like, nope, I'm going for it. You said ahead of time you were slipping something on him, so I'm like, nope, I don't have to hero point this. This isn't edit a scene. You said you were doing it ahead of time. Yeah, you were now in the bubble. I'm definitely going to count Vernon as vulnerable for this, because he's definitely not expecting this. Even vulnerable, though, that's not going to hit.
Yeah, I'm going to reroll it.
Okay, it's a 19. I think.
It's actually
19.
a 29.
Well, either way, it hits. It absolutely hits. So, you just pop in and just... and just slash at him. He was not expecting this.
Surprised now.
So he's going to take a bruise and a daze. So you sort of hit him, just like you gash across the voodoo stuff he's wearing. And
So, to end my turn, I'm going to take like the flat side of my scythe and push against his throat and push him up against the bear.
well, that's part of what I wanted to tell you is you didn't notice it last time because you didn't really get a good clean slice on him. But you know what what normal skin feels like. And this felt like you were slashing through something metal. So that happened. Lutra.
So while all that's going on, he's still in front of the snake.
Yes, he is.
And I think he's just going to keep attacking this thing. In fact...
Fair enough.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to remember what all this stuff does real quick.
Yeah, I know.
Alright.
Alrighty.
Alright. I know what I'm doing. Lutra's going an all-out attack.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll it.
I don't remember how to adjust that on here, but this is he's doing +5. Like he's going the whole way. So that's technically +5, but that's still a 1, so I'm going to spend a hero point. Oh, it's a 16 crit.
You are 16 crit. You do have to.
Yep. Hold on. That's +5 to that. I forgot that I did. So that's actually 20.
Yeah. Basically, if you go down to the bottom, see it says all-out attack.
Oh, it has that. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Click down up to 5.
yeah.
Huh.
So you will confirm the crit. 22 is a dead nut hit.
Nice. Yeah, so that's 28 +5, so that's 33.
27 plus 5.
I'm talking about the one I
Yeah, no, because it was a 16 crit,
Yeah.
and 16 on 16 crits the house rule is roll the
Right, no, yeah.
22 will hit.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the number up there, because it's a multi-attack.
Oh, okay, yeah, oh, okay.
And then with the crit, the +5 on that, so I don't know what the DC is at this point, but it feels like a lot.
It's going to be a +10. Or no, it's not. It's going to be a +10.
So that would make the DC 37.
37. +5 from the multi-attack tier.
Oh, jeez.
And then, because you hit 3 tiers,
Right.
because 33 is 33 minus his 22 is 11,
Right.
which is 3 tiers.
Right.
And then the crit.
So, yeah.
He's probably about to have a bad day.
Yeah.
Let me hit my button here. Well, 37. He cannot make this roll. He doesn't quite fall from this, but he was not expecting an angry whirlwind of teeth, claws, a chittering tide of whatever the heck is Lutra right now.
Yeah.
And like you're going on, and you do notice, like, you know, you're clawing, you're biting, you're scratching, like you're getting here, and there is one thing you definitely do notice. It does taste like chicken.
I feel like there was a snake dog reference.
I almost brought the snake dogs out. I really almost did. But yes, it does kind of remind you. It tastes like chicken.
Alright,
So, as this is going on, as Lutra is just coming away, coming through the window is... You just hear this... And the next thing that you know, just through the window, you see basically coming in, bounces off the top side of like behind where they're standing, off of that, off the other side, and then bang! Something hits Baron Samdi in the back of the head. No one's actually sure what it is, but it's something. And I have to look something up quick. No, it is not Deus Ex Octopus.
Oh, come on, that would have been fantastic.
Also not Deus Ex Rebound.
It's a different dimension, if I remember properly.
Yes, this would have to be Deus Ex Hunter. But it's not that either. So, whatever this is, like, obviously you can tell that Baron Samdi was not expecting it. And Anton, and only Anton, can make a perception check right now.
The pressure.
Well, you're the only one who'll be able to notice it.
Yeah, we're all distracted.
Okay. So, when whatever this thing is hits the Baron in the back of the head, the bubble flickers.
Kind of figured he was the one.
I actually hadn't decided who it was until we got here. I wasn't sure who I wanted to have it be.
One last thing to end Lucha's turn. After he gets done mulling this guy, since I've got moved by action, he's going to kind of like jump off him and jump a little bit away so he's not directly in front of Mama.
So that happened, and it is Mama's turn. She's going to look.
Bet she's not really pleased right now.
Oh, she's not. She looks and goes, I'll deal with you in a minute, young man, because thievery is highly unbecoming. But you're a naughty, naughty boy for attacking my son like that. And next thing you know, Lutra, you're surrounded by a horde of skeletons. Zombies. She ain't got her staff, don't mean she can't summon the dead. The snake's turn. And he is going to spend his turn just sort of like looking, and he has like, Anton, you'll notice this, he sort of has this pleading look, like, Mama, help me. And he sort of shakes his head. Mechanically, he's shaking off his stagger.
Wait, did that do anything other than surround Lucha with zombies, or is that it?
That was her turn. Like,
okay.
Like, they're zombies, they're slow moving, they can't move the turn.
Fair.
Yeah, sickness.
Yeah, that's how shamblers work. With that, it is the Baron's turn. He is looking around and trying to figure out what the heck hit him. And he was informed that at least one of the people here has the ability to create things from whatever armor he's wearing. So he assumes it's you, Anton. And he sort of looks. I was hoping it wouldn't have to come to that planet. Since you'd be in pain. Hi. He reaches into one of the pouches on his back and pulls out what appears to be a small handful of short brown hair. It took Dr. Crescent from her house. He's a voodoo priest. He's absolutely going to take care of it. Anton is the only person here who he... Because it's limited, because it... Anton is the only person here who the Baron can use this next ability on, because it's limited to requiring an article of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly hair or some other sort of that. He is using his mind control. Using the hair he took from your house as a focus. He just sort of looks at you, shakes his head. I'm going to need you to make a DC 24 will save. Ignore the attack roll, because it's perception ranged.
Gonna burn one of my PowerPoints on that.
I figured you might be.
Ooh.
That's the worst roll. Was that a 10 you roll? Or
It's an 11.
Hold on. This isn't a fear effect, is it?
It is a mind control effect.
Because I have fearless.
So it is, but it isn't, because it's based off of voodoo magic, which is kind of dark and kind of fear-based. So while you're not immune to it, I will provide a +2 bonus to the roll because of fearless, which will make you pass the roll. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Because of the nature of how the voodoo magic works. And speaking of voodoo boogaloos, your wife's on a slab, and he just pulled your hair out of his pocket.
Alright. Anton is doing a power attack. Make sure I have this right.
Who are you attacking?
Oh, the Baron.
Baron. Yeah, I have power attack. I think it's I just have rank 1. I think. What's that give me?
If you have power attack advantage, you do
Up to 5. You said.
Yep.
All right. Anton's gonna form the sword and just charge straight for his head.
Seems a good idea. Well, this is an appropriate time to crit. I would think so. So, the way power attack works, because you're focusing on hitting heavy, not a lot, multi-attack isn't going to apply. But you're still going to get the +5 from the power, and the +5 from the crit. Still a DC 32. I think that is the most... I want to say that may be the most appropriate crit we've ever had. Although the crit on cutting off her hair when you're fighting is also pretty good.
Yeah,
that was good.
That was really good.
So you charge, and you take everything in your power. You swing at this guy. And you hit. You hit. There's just one problem. The person you're attacking is under the possession of a Haitian Loa spirit. One who guides souls and has power over the dead. He does one of those ghost shimmers and you just whoosh, right through him.
You know what? I want to use that last hero point for something really stupid.
Okay. What are you going to do?
I'm checking something.
Okay.
Okay, I have fast grab and improve grab. What I want to do is use that hero point to pull him in close and take the staff and stab it into his chest.
Okay. So, first things first. The hero point will allow you
To do it.
to do most of it without a check.
Okay.
So basically, you're at this point, you're fueled by, they're trying to sacrifice your wife. Let's be honest.
Pissed off might be just a little.
Yeah. So you can get him. You can pull the staff. I'll give you that. You want to stab it through his heart? That one I'm going to need the attack roll for.
Okay. What do we want to roll on this one? I've got the sword we could do, or we can do. I've got the spear.
Make a spear attack check. Okay. Well, the good thing for you is a 22 is exactly what you need to hit him. The better thing for you is that one of the things that will penetrate through his is that staff. So I'm not going to click the button to roll his toughness because I don't feel like going through. I'm just going to do the roll without his magic barrier toughness. And spoiler alert, it's not good. Yeah, it's a 2 without the voodoo.
He still rolled like a champ.
He did roll pretty well.
I rolled a 13. Here's the catch. That's technically a 14 because he has a bruise from before when the other thing hit him in the back of the head.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, in addition to not being affected by his magical bubble, because it kind of produces the magical bubble, it's also an artifact that can affect the spirit within the body. So, instead of it being a DC 22, it's in actuality a DC 27, which is 3 tiers of failure, which is a 2 bruised and a staggered. But the way that the lowest spirit works is like, this vessel is now of no use to me. So the body is going to collapse in your hands. The spirit's like, I'm out, y'all. Other good news. You see the bubble dissipate.
Anton turns and looks at Mama. I was like, next.
Well, next would be Kestrel.
Kestrel sees his buddy do all of this stuff, and he wants to give him a nice, awesome cheer, but he's busy unlocking the shackles from Dr. Crescent. So he's going around at, like, super speed to open up these shackles.
I mean,
Or whatever
your
she's
super speed. Yeah, your super speed. I'm not gonna. Yeah, not gonna
Okay.
say you can't do it. You do it.
Okay, so she got those off, and can I get her off the altar?
I mean, in theory. I mean, what's your lifting capacity?
He's carried her before to be.
I have carried her before, and I think I actually looked at my lifting capacity to figure that out.
Right. But the last time he carried her, she was awake and helping. Now she's not. Now she's
How much does she weigh?
Now she's just dead weight. I mean, she's not overly heavy, but it's impolite to ask a woman her weight.
My carrying capacity is 100 pounds.
She is more than 100 pounds.
Aw, Anton. And, oh.
Okay, 120 is not a
Okay, that's fine. I am a squirrel, so it makes sense.
Anton just sits here and looks at Kestrel. Like, really? I'm dealing with all this? Can you not?
Alright, fine. So, she's dead weight. She's on the altar. Probably pushing her off the altar isn't going to be very good. Can I make a move to try to steal Vernon's knife from his hand then instead?
You certainly can try.
Okay, that'll be sleight of hand.
No, normally it would be an opposed strength check, but it's going to be a speed check for you as opposed to not necessarily his strength, but the rank of the power keeping it to his hand.
Jeez, okay.
I'm going to put... It's magnetically connected to his hand because he's half android.
Oh, okay. So it's not about being sneaky and stealing it, it's about the fact that it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's about that you have to be faster than the magnet.
Gotcha. Okay, so Kessel tries to lift up Dr. Crescent. He can't. So he makes a go for the knife instead and roll the speed check, you said?
Yes, please.
Got a 23.
Alrighty. Plus armor, which is that. You are unfortunately not fast enough.
Could I use my last hero point to try to re-roll that?
You certainly can.
That would be kind of dicey.
What's the whole point of this game is to be dicey.
Unless you're dark and it's either critical miss or kill shot.
Okay.
Dicey.
I get it. Okay, I'm going to use the last hero point then to re-roll because it's for my buddy. Anton, this is for you! There's a 34. Oh, gosh.
That's a crit.
Yes.
All right. You now have the crooked dagger, the ritual dagger in your hand. It is about 3/4 glowing. I am going to need you to make a toughness save as you grab it, though, because the necromantic energy coming from it is extremely painful to touch. And yeah, so I'm going to need you to make a DC 20 toughness save, so you're going to take a bruise.
Okay.
That's not that bad, really.
No, it's not, comparatively.
Right, but you're going to have to make that save every turn.
That's okay.
Vernon has, you've got Vernon up against, well, now no longer a force field, so the two of you just go falling down, because the force field dropped and you were propping him up against the force field. Malak. Kestrel was fast enough to grab the knife beforehand, but now the two of you sort of like go sprawling, and Vernon just sort of goes, rolls over, rolls up, and just goes, "Y'all never supposed to get this far. You've been a pain in my backside for far too long, Mr. Wolf. And you were supposed to end tonight. You and every last one of your ilk in your line is supposed to go tonight. Since you wouldn't let me do it the easy way, we'll have the fun way."
I was supposed to be retired, to be honest. Can you, you kind of drug me back into this. Can you just... No.
And when he says that, he's going to have basically, the Iron Man gauntlet repulsor things. 2 of those appear in his hands. Or his hands appear, like the skin melts off. And he just holds 2 of them out and just fires these 2 beams at you.
At who?
At Anton.
Of course.
And he is attacking you with an attack. Actually, you're the one who felt this attack last time. He's attacking you with Solar Beam. I'm assuming a 28 hits you. Take a bruise.
Yep.
The good news is, with Kestrel, with Baron gone, Mama distracted, and the dagger, I don't have to worry about the clock right now. Malkir.
So, at this moment, Malkir would notice that Lutra is like staring at Vernon and the situation, and it looks like he's going to do something very, quickly.
Well, all I'm going to say is, Malkir, Vernon went full T2. You just saw that happen. What do you do?
Malkir's going to hold his action for a minute and take a quick hold. I'm going to actually get up and brace myself, but I'm going to hold my action for a moment.
Okay. Lutra.
So Dr. Crescent's free now, right?
Free, still on the table, but free.
So Lutra, he stares at Vernon, and, his eyes start turning red again, like he's going into that angry rage. But he keeps looking, and he actually stops himself and looks at Dr. Crescent. And what he's going to do is he's going to run, grab Dr. Crescent, and get out of there.
He doesn't need the strength check. His strength is
Yeah.
it's like a 7 or something, so it's definitely enough to pick up that.
I think it's an 8 even, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you removing yourself from the cathedral to do this?
Yes. Get out of the building.
Okay. So, by saving the innocent bystander and removing yourself from the scene, you are going to get a hero point. However, you're kind of removed from the scene for right. But what happens next? Well, I'm going to default to somebody else for what happens next.
Okay, well, first of all, Jamie and OPT, I need perception checks.
Roger. 27.
Yeah, both of you have absolutely no problem noticing this. So you're first kind of standing up.
Oh, I get it.
And suddenly, a surge of electricity comes through the window where that item that hit Baron in the back of the head came from earlier.
Nice.
And yeah, the current goes right near where Mama is.
Ooh.
And Mama gets hit with this.
Mama just killed a man.
But against her.
Alrighty. Liquid Discourage.
I'm mad I didn't think of it first.
My favorite thing is the note. Leaves target wet.
That's an important note. Just saying.
Yep.
That's good. That is absolutely going to hit Mama. And I'll roll her toughness check. So she doesn't get hurt from that, but she's wet.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
after that, everyone can actually see what materialized. And whatever this is, going by the name of Torrent, is actually going to use a hero point to then turn around and immediately touch the back of Mama using electroparalysis.
Well, yes, you are going to hit. And being wet, she is going to conduct this. Instead of a 27, it's going to be a 32 toughness save she'll have to make. So she's going to take 2 bruises and be staggered from that. And then the fortitude save. Yeah, she's. So yeah, she's instead of Mama Jubilee, she's. So Malkier, you had a held action. For the record, that just happened. The only way I can describe it is that just happened.
So does Vernon react at all to his lady getting fried?
Oh, the snake is Mama, and whips his head around him. Ever.
See, the only way I can imagine that too is she just like gets pelted with this like thing of water, and she's like laughing, thinking it's supposed to hurt her, and then he does that.
It's a good moment.
So Malkir is going to turn his attention back to Vernon, and I'm actually going to focus on his left arm, the one I had originally cut that I know is robotic.
They're both. You can tell they're both robotic. You see a beams come from each hand.
Okay, well, okay, well, yeah, I'll just.
I mean, left arm's still fine, but yeah, you can tell they're both at least half robotic. All the crits. All the crits. I love it.
This is how you want a finale to go, right?
And the chips are down.
Exactly how you want the finale to go. This has been too perfect.
This also sets him on fire too, if that helps.
I mean,
Blazing Terminator.
That's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to get full blazing. Then we have to get the skin parts melted off that are metallic. So he is going to take another bruise and a daze. No, I said bruise and a daze. And he starts to catch on fire, and it's almost like he doesn't even care. So, like, we get that half face melting off, like some of like metal, and like it's basically, like you said, it's basically Blazing Terminator. So you all see that. Cottonmouth.
I was gonna say it's not Mama's turn because she's dazed on
Cottonmouth is basically just running, and he's been like, look, we're out, and he is trying to grab Mama Jubilee and trying to piece the heck out. I said trying to. Like, he can pick her up and he's starting to head out. Like, that's what he's doing. That's his action.
Anton's going to use the whip.
Or just clothesline.
Alrighty. Well, you are next up on the list.
That's why I'm using the whip.
Alright. Watch Anton whip.
And Nene.
Yeah, you nay him right back to you.
No, I'm not nay-naying to me. I'm using the whip, coming across him and Mama, wrapping them up and pulling them into Vernon.
Okay. So, first things first.
So yes, I probably need another strength check in here.
Well, no, first things first is I have to make the toughness save. That's another bruise for him. Now I have to make the fortitude save. Because if he fails this means paralyzed, you can fling him into Vernon anyway. Because it's linked to concentration, cumulative affliction, dazed, stunned, paralyzed. And I'm technically going to give you a +5 on this fortitude save because Mama's still wet.
I figured she was.
Oh no!
So you are going to have to make the strength check now because he's not paralyzed. He is snake. -2 from this roll because he is also trying to still hold on to Mama Jubilee. Didn't matter. So you basically beaten an MFer with another MFer. So you Indiana Jones them basically into Governor Vernon. Yeah. So Vernon's gonna have to make based on that strength check. So he's gonna have to make a DC 15 because that's the strength you threw them into him with.
Yeah.
So he's not going to take a bruise from that, but he now is covered in a pile of snake and paralyzed black woman.
Seems good. I'm okay with this.
Castro.
Jeez. I don't even know. He's got the dagger in his hand, but he doesn't want to like stab anybody with it.
Speaking of that, I'm going to need you to make another DC 20 toughness save.
Oh, it happens at the beginning? Gotcha. Oh, that makes sense. Haha!
Good.
So, Snake Guy's knocked out.
No, Snake Guy is in a pile of President Vernon and Mama Jubilee.
Gotcha.
There's a Three Stooge pile up.
Basically.
Let's give them all the smacks upside the head. I'm going to be doing my hypersonic assault, running in there, and punching all three of them.
Okay.
So, here we go. It's a burst area damage, so I don't think it needs to...
It's
Yeah,
burst
it's
area, so yeah. So burst area
And
needs
it's-
to start 6. Mama
It
Jubilee
also doesn't hit anybody else but the enemies.
well, Mama Jubilee is going to fail automatically because she's paralyzed. She can't move. -5 to all these checks because there's just a pile of anthropomorphic entity. Or, yeah. I don't want to say humanity because, anyway. So he will take the full brunt of the attack. As will Vernon. The minuses didn't matter.
So after Kestrel goes and bops all of them, he's gonna fly back up because he has move by action, and he's gonna kind of perch in the top rafter of the church there, and keep holding on to that dagger so that he can keep it away from Vernon because he knows that's still important.
Yeah, well, they both Cottonmouth and Vernon from that, and Mama Jubilee. I mean, she's already paralyzed, and now she's just, you're punching her when she's down. It's just not nice.
Yeah, a couple of lumps.
You're a mean, evil squirrel, man. All right, so technically Lutra and Malkier switched order positions, so Lutra is up right now. Actually, Lutra and Tempest switched. So it's Lutra
Right.
and Malkier's after.
So, Lucha's still with Dr. Crescent, right?
Yeah, so, all right, so Lutra, you're out there. You're okay. You're good. Krim. Your turn. Or Tempest.
Torrent.
Torrent, whatever. I couldn't remember. It was a T word. I knew it was a T word.
So who all is where right now?
So,
all bad guys are in a pile on the floor.
yeah. Basically, there's a pile, Malkier is standing right in front of the pile that is Mama Jubilee, Cottonmouth, and President Vernon. Anton is about...
Yeah, on the altar almost.
Yeah, Kestrel's up in the air, Lutra's outside with Dr. And Anton's at the front of the altar. The hell out of that.
Didn't hear half of what you said, but yes.
Torrent just walks over to the group and puts his hand on Mama's shoulder and says to Vernon, I wouldn't move.
And what would you do if I'm...
Well, didn't you see what just happened to her?
You would. Don't you know who I am?
I do know who you are. I know very well who you are.
Then you know it would be ill-advised.
Okay. Yeah, I just stand there with my hand on her shoulder for now.
Well, Cottonmouth is going to listen to you. You're threatening him up. president doesn't go right now anyway. Malkir, you're up. Although it doesn't seem like you've much you need to do right now.
Malker is just kind of stay ready, but kind of survey the situation and get between Anton and the other.
Okay, so we're still on initiative, but not really at this point. So I'm still going to ask questions in the initiative. Really on initiative, if that makes sense. So Anton,
Yes.
you mentioned you want something.
Kestrel, drop the dagger.
Just drop it or give it to you.
Just drop it.
It's okay. He's got to toss the dagger on the floor of the church.
Oh, you're still flying, right?
Correct.
So as it drops, Anton's going to jump in the air, grab the dagger, and put it right at Vernon's throat.
I do need to make a toughness save for holding the dagger. DC is 20.
So I'll fail this like I have all the other my rolls.
No, Anton,
My
don't.
toughness can't be 4. Like, that can't be right.
Hey, you
Doesn't
keep taking bruises.
It doesn't feel right, but whatever.
So you going in, you've got up, and he was fine with whatever Torrent was planning to do. You have that dagger up against his throat, and he starts shaking and sweating, and he is pale. Like, he can't even get a word out. Whatever this dagger is supposed to do scares the crap out of him. Ball's in your court, Anton. What do you do?
Anton's gonna slowly prick his neck with it.
you don't know what you can't.
You're calling out.
Yeah, you cut completely out on most of that.
You can't. You know what that does. You can't do that. No. So, as soon as the blood hits the dagger, it starts to hiss and burn and squeal. And you know what a natural pale looks like from being sick or being scared. That's not what you see on Andrew Vernon. You see a pale that is almost like the life is being slowly drained from him.
This is what you were going to do to Aaron. This is what you were going to do to my wife. No. Anton pulls the dagger off. This isn't me. He stabs the dagger into the staff and throws it on the ground.
Okay. So, which staff? You had Mama Jubilee's staff, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, you stab the dagger into the staff. And you hear screaming. Not necessarily not from Mama Jubilee, like not from the person, but from the body. As the same thing you saw with the Baron is now happening with Mama Jubilee. But it's like the spirit starts screaming. And then the spirit from Cottonmouth starts to scream. And all everywhere you hear this cacophony of screaming and pain. And just as a giant as all of these spirits disappear. The dagger was part of a ritual. And it's not going to have fully worked because it wasn't fully charged. But what the dagger does is that was a bloodline curse ritual. Basically, whatever you kill with the dagger, anything older than it in its bloodline will die. Since the dagger was not fully charged, you're not going to get all of the Loa spirits, because the Loa that was inhabiting Mama Jubilee was something that was created fresh from Baron Samedi. So the high Loa are still alive, but anything else is gone.
Dang.
And with that, Anton just turns and walks out. He's done.
Did we win?
Oh, is Vernon? Vernon's still there, isn't he?
He's not looking so hot if I remember correctly, but...
He's still alive, though.
Is he?
I thought. Can't hear you, Titch.
I mean, he's just pale and shaking and just like, at this point, he's just like, he just wants to, he's lost the will to do anything.
Well, Malkir? I think this is kind of your area, right? You had a score to settle with Vernon yourself.
Malkir kind of just looks over at Kestrel, and then looks down at what's left over. He was like, "No, I just want my life back." And then with that, he's gonna look over at the dagger, just look back over at Vernon. Then he's gonna go over and pick up the dagger and plunge it into himself.
What?
So, interesting thing's going to happen here. So, the evil part of the blood of the ritual, that magic has dissipated. That doesn't mean the dagger itself didn't have some magic in it itself, because you need something evil. Or something not necessarily evil, but necromantic. And that's the base of this dagger. And the reason Malkir is able to do the whole fire thing is we haven't explored it a lot, but there's a reason he was chosen. He's able to adapt to things like that. So there's a lot of screaming and painful cajoring. And, well, I'm going to leave the rest of the description up to the person who was doing this. So, Dark, the floor is yours.
So basically, what Malkir wanted to do was exercise the demons of his past, given that he knows that the high spirits were dissipated. So by doing it himself, he wanted to clear his own bloodline and get rid of the pain of his mother and father, and hopefully get back to a sense of semblancy of where he was going to be going towards the future. So while he stabbed himself, he didn't stab it himself in a way that would have killed him. He just wanted to basically clear his bloodline.
Which is something this dagger can do. We're going to turn the page. I'm assuming Anton went outside.
Oh, yeah. Anton went to go find Lutra.
I mean, scene's yours, gentlemen.
So, Lucha wouldn't have gone like too far, because what kind of state was Crescent in when Lucha grabbed her?
Unconscious.
Okay, yeah.
Was
So he's got her kind of off in the grass, so she's not like laying on the ground per se, but he's got her there, and he's clearly trying to use like his healing power to try to like heal her, make her wake up or whatever.
I mean, we'll time it perfectly to that happens when Anton walks over.
Thank you, Lutra.
He looks up. Oh, yeah. No, is it over in there?
It's over.
I saw Vernon, and I wanted nothing more than to just claw at his face. But I saw Dr. Crescent laying there, and I realized that I was in a really good position to get her out of there, so I don't know what happened. Something just kind of snapped in my mind, and I said, you know what? No, I'm not going to attack him. They've got it. I knew you guys could take care of it, so I got her out. I was just in the position to do it.
You did the right thing, Lutra. Vengeance isn't us. It never has been.
Yeah.
At that point, you were just attacked by a hug, and there's tears. Like, no, not you, Anton.
Right, yeah.
Oh. Hi.
I knew you'd come. And she's bawling, just like holding on to you as tight as she can. I don't care who else calls you. You're not going back.
No. Lutra?
Yeah.
Go in there and make sure they wrap everything up. I'm going to get her to the jet and get her recovering.
Lucha nuts. Absolutely. He gives a little smile and a wave to Dr. Crescent and heads back into the cathedral.
So Malkir has just purged his inner demons, both physically and metaphorically. Now, Kestrel, Torrent, what are you two doing? And does anyone actually know who Torrent really is yet?
No, they don't.
Okay.
So, Malkir's still inside the building. Is Kestrel still in there?
He's freaking out at Malkir stabbing himself.
Okay. Well, then I'll let it up to you whether he does or does not see this. But Torrent sort of just shoves the body of Mama off to the side with very little resistance, I would assume, and stands over Vernon and says, "You are no longer President-elect. You will go into hiding. If there is a sound of you trying to do anything, I will not go as easy on you as Anton did." And he turns around and says, "Malkir, I'll be needing that dagger on my way out." Which will probably confuse Malkir because this person obviously knows him.
Can I do a perception check to see if I recognize the voice?
You can try.
Well, with the history of Malkir and Jay, would he recognize the like some of the Bible?
Give me a perception. No.
How about when Kestrel kind of looks over there and says Jay, because he got a pretty good perception.
No, you probably won't even hit it.
Yeah, no, like if you remember the scene from way back when there was the perception check about getting Malkir to sign the document,
Right.
that was the same mannerism, so that would be why that perception check is a thing.
Oh, okay.
He's very good at deception.
Makes
He is
sense.
very good at deception.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, but when he first says that to Malkir won't know who it is.
But you get no
But
complaints from
he's
Vernon.
sort of looking to Malkir for agreement that he will give him the dagger.
So Malkir just kind of looking down at his hand and flips it so it's like handle out. And just kind of like.
And when he sees Malkir do that, he turns back towards Vernon, takes off his mask, and says, "Don't let me see you again." And turns around, and now both Malkir and Kestrel will see that it was, in fact, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay goes over and grabs the dagger and walks out.
As he walks out, he walks past Lucha. He's like, Lucha says, "Oh, Jay, hi. Bye. Okay."
Kestrel's actually kind of trying to lead Malkir out because I think we're done here.
So Kestrel realized that Malkir feels really, really cold.
Ah! But, Malkir, do you need a jacket?
Malkir kind of just like huffs and starts walking towards the plane.
What did that knife do to you?
Malkir kind of just waves him off and just keeps walking without really responding.
So as Malkir and Kestrel come walking out, Lucha is walking in, and he meets like Malkir's eyes and looks at him and gives a little smile, and says, "Is everything all right?"
Malkir just looks at Lucha and goes, "Never better," and just pats him on the shoulder and just starts walking towards the.
He kind of nods and then looks over at Kestrel.
Well, the plane can land here, so the plane has, at this point, Anton has called the plane. It's basically, in the field right out front of the cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
So I know most people are taking the plane. Jay, are you flying out of your own accord, or are you taking the plane?
Jay will get on the plane.
So as they're walking back, Lucha looks at Kestrel and says, "So, happy you came looking for heroes?"
Happy I found him.
Nods. Feels like it's been a very short month.
It's been a month?
Something like that.
Welcome to the life of a superhero, Kestrel.
Yeah. Thanks. That means everything's over, right? Like, Vernon's taken care of. Like, the whole dimensional thing's settled. We stopped the ritual. Your wife is saved.
There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah. But at least it's kind of settled for tonight, right?
So, Lucha walks over to Anton and he just hugs him. He's like, "It's good to see you again, man. You stay in touch, right?"
That's the plan.
Wait, stay in touch.
I'm retired, Kestrel. I came back for this. I have no business being here.
Oh. Huh.
I unwillingly got drug into all of this.
I guess
This
that makes
is my
sense.
family.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Oh, I'm gonna miss you.
You'll know how to reach me.
Can we still drive around in your car and be
The
like
car's-
buddy cops?
The car's Dr. Casey's.
Oh.
He loaned it to me. You can have the car, Kestrel. I don't want it. And with that, Anton does toss the keys to Kestrel.
Ah.
Now, let's get back to Bay City. Let's celebrate. And then I'm taking my wife on a vacation before she kills me.
I'm going fishing.
Hey, can I go with you?
Sure, Lucha.
Awesome. Fishing is so great. Oh my gosh, it's so great. Like you just.
Lucha, we're going actual fishing. You're gonna sit there and be quiet and fish.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm very quiet when I'm going fishing because you gotta cast the reel, you gotta make sure the fish don't go run away and whatnot. What?
On second thought, I'm going all out.
Lucha,
Yes.
while you're going through all of that, give me an insight check.
Okay.
You make the connection that Jay's here, not with Hunter and Lionheart.
Hey Jay, where's Hunter and Lionheart?
Well, about that. They're kind of not here.
Huh?
What?
I kinda had to send Hunter into the future.
Huh?
Wait, what?
Did you give him a DeLorean?
Wait, what?
No, I don't think
Why
it's
didn't you tell me?
Back to the Future.
Yeah, so I wish Vernon was the end of it all.
What's next?
Okay, hold on. I'm still stuck on you sent him to the future part. Like, we've done that before, it's terrible. Why would you do that?
Yeah, not gonna lie, I haven't had much fun going to the future lately.
How'd you do it?
No.
So
How?
Why?
I would like to say that you guys would understand, but I really think you wouldn't.
You know what? I'm okay with that. Can we go?
I assumed we were actually going.
Yeah, we're actually on our
Yeah,
way.
this is in flight.
Oh, good,
Yeah,
we're
I assume
flying.
this is
Good.
flying, yeah. They're just like, no, just why did you, what happened? Why did you send me to the future? Like, what's going on?
Because someone we thought was dead is not.
Huh?
Is that lady still alive?
The list of people still alive is long and arduous.
Blackheart, thank you. I was gonna say Carla, but
Isn't she in another dimension
Power
now?
works too.
Isn't she back in that other Solaris, whatever place we went to?
We don't know where she went.
She
We
didn't
just
go.
know that she didn't come, or we know she didn't come to Earth with us.
Right?
We don't know if she is left on Solstice.
So, right. Okay, so, but why did you send Hunter and Leonard into the future? I'm still confused on that part. Like, how's that gonna help?
Because we need Hunter.
right.
I mean, huh?
Oh, I have an idea.
Huh?
You're sending Hunter. Wait, no, that would only make sense if you sent him into the past. Yeah, no. What are you doing?
You'll just have to trust me.
Huh.
Jay, it's not that I don't
But
trust. It's not that I don't trust you. I just want to know why. What's going on? How does that help?
You will see. But we don't have much time. We're gonna take a detour after we drop Anton off.
I thought we were going to celebrate.
I don't really feel much like celebrating anymore.
And with that, Jay sort of like takes a dagger that he was playing with while talking and sort of flips it and grabs it and gets up and goes to the war room and shuts the door behind him.
So Lucha actually goes over towards Dr. Crescent, because this whole thing was he wanted to talk to her in the first place. And Lucha was like, "Hey, Dr. Crescent, you okay?"
Yeah, I'm fine. A little shook up, but fine.
Good. Not right now, because I know you're resting, but sometime later, I was wondering if I could have a conversation with you.
Yeah, later.
Yeah, not right now. I didn't want to. Just curious. I just want to make sure you're all right, because I apparently can heal people, and I wanted to make sure you're okay.
I'm good.
Good.
Thank you.
No, absolutely. He walks over towards Anton Kestrel, just like smiles, like, "Well, at least everybody here seems to be okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fine. I mean, everybody's actually here.
Yeah. Anton, if you're still gonna go, I completely understand. Like, we'll take care of Blackheart, hopefully find Hunter.
You know how to reach me.
We do.
Yep.
Besides, you said you were retired anyway.
Yeah, but that didn't stop me last time.
It's going to stop you this time.
Valkyrie kind of just looks over at Antron and goes, "Do you really think you're going to leave us?"
I don't think I have a choice, Valkyrie.
If he doesn't leave you, I'm leaving him.
Yeah.
At least we'll be in the future.
Can we not go into the future again, please, guys?
Apparently, we might have to.
So we're going to get the detour that you guys are going to take. That's going to be teased in just a smidge here, as a little back cover tease. But you guys get back, drop off Anton. Jay's going to take the plane wherever you guys need to go. And then we turn the page. And the last page of the comic is a sunset on a rolling field. And you can tell where the field is because in the far right-hand corner of the sunset background, you can see Stonehenge. In the foreground, there's Anton and there's Dr. Crescent. Just sitting there in front of, well, let's let Anton describe where they're sitting in front of first.
It would be a familiar castle to anyone who's been with us through this whole time. We're in front of Arthur's castle. Near his grave.
Nice.
And Dr. Crescent looks at you. This place is beautiful.
It really is.
But do you know why Vernon wanted to do that thing to me? Do you know what that was supposed to do?
Kill all of our bloodline, including Arthur.
Well, not only that, it only goes with the youngest. He wanted to get everybody. Because in the last line of the comic, in the last panel, she just looks over with a smile and goes, "I'm pregnant." As she turned to the back cover, Crip,
On the back cover, it is not our current heroes.
Hmm.
The back cover is a dark alleyway. On one side of the alleyway, there's someone dressed in, and it seems to be a hero or villain, dressed in green and white. Looking back, and there's 4 figures there saying, "There's nowhere else to go. You're coming with us." And at the bottom, it just says Episode 6, Solstice.
So with that, thank you all very much for watching. On behalf of Dark Falls, OPT Lawyer, Chameleon Ice, Norestra, and my co-GM Crimson Avix, I am TGE, reminding everybody to, of course, as always, keep hailing.